Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Friday. I keep on wanting to say Friday because it's non-farm payrolls. It's actually Thursday, the 2nd of July. So let's get on with Thursday, the 2nd of July then. And looking at what's due out on the data today, and it's non-farm payrolls, and that's the key thing there. So just to watch out for non-farm payrolls today at 1:30. Aside of that, let's see. So, well, the euro dollar starting with, and it's starting off on a reasonable footing here, looking to push back up. It's been in a horrible pattern for a while. Yesterday it got that bullish engulfing and then couldn't really hang on to too much, but maybe today. It does have an untouched daily pivot below, so a break of the trend line here may see it pull back to that, but at the moment those prior highs and the R1 sort of area at around about 1290 would be an obvious point initially. Okay, that's the euro. The pound. The pound came up a bit stronger, held on to the gains yesterday as well. It just round its 4-hourly 100 there, but closed above that now. It's just not really kicking off this morning quite so much. It's a little bit weak here at this stage. It's just a bit of divergence across the highs here, and again daily pivot below. So if it cannot get the kicker going, it will potentially roll backwards, and that would, as I say, give me a short-term target, maybe of a scalpy type trade back to its daily pivot. But if it can get some legs here, well, that 60-minute 500 is certainly close by. Aside of that, we've broken out. We were looking at this yesterday, and it's broken out of this downward trend here, and it could well have started the change in trend for now at least. So that's the pound. Okay, I say it started. It may start. It has started the trending change in trend even. Okay, the dollar yen. Well, bearish engulfing yesterday, so strength coming in through from the yen against the US dollar, and well, then it's just sort of sat there and not doing too much, and it does this pretty well lately. We've seen it just gets into a bit of a stage and then just doesn't do too much. It just rolls along there, and well, it's fractionally lower high in there, but sideward chop there at this stage. Aussie dollar. Aussie was trying its best yesterday, or the day before. We was trying to run through at 500. It couldn't manage it. Did it yesterday eventually. It's starting to make tracks here. You can see my downward trend line here. It's broken and closed above that. It's quite solidly actually, and there may well, it's already caught a daily pivot. May well be heading up towards the R1 yesterday's highs. Last week's highs actually, as it is. It's a 4-hour chart. Looking at it on here, there you go. It says daily pivot. R1 sort of area may be possible. One thing, just watching these candles though at the moment, is that this sort of it manages a bit of a shove up and then gives it back, and it's although it's bullish, high lows, high highs, it's at stages it just sort of seems to give back the gains so quickly. So just be wary of that. There may be a better pair out there, such as a New Zealand dollar, which was holding on better. It's just you see the slight differences here. Of course, the markets were selling off, but the New Zealand dollar seems to be holding up just that bit better. On some of these days, it's a solid 2 days and today up, already into its weekly R1 here, and it's all into its daily R1 actually. The New Zealand dollar has been pushing, maybe retracements. It hasn't touched its daily pivot, it's the only thing. So any turn around in these markets this morning, any signs of dollar strength coming through, well, there's a few targets there to be had. Okay, let's have a look at oil. So oil slowed its path down here. It's got much slower. The volatility, you can just see by the bars here, you just sort of got doji, and well, another doji, and we up until then we'd had some half decent. It's just slowed up a little bit. Still moving to the upside, trending to that upside, but just slowed up. And you see yesterday it got really spiky at one stage. We did wonder if it pulled back to its weekly pivot, but it held on to its gains there. It's looking today to go and double top maybe, but we'll see how it shapes up. It's got a bit to go before it gets back up to its near-term higher, but as I say, it's still looking bullish. So near-term high sitting there around about that 41.50ish area. Okay, and the S&Ps. Let's just scoot across the S&Ps, and what we're seeing there then. Let's just go to dailies first. There we go. So S&P's 3 up days so far, and it really is sort of caught a little bit more the bid. It's slow though at times. Again, it's sort of it's hardly filling me with absolute excitement about this market, but it is making the path upwards. Momentum, everything's sort of sitting with it as well. Just checking there. 60-minute time frame where there's a bit of divergence, maybe even double divergence across. There's certainly a bit of divergence across these highs here. Actually, it may be a bit of divergence because it got to the high. There you go. Not quite there yet, but it looks like it may catch into some divergence if it does push back into that high. It won't be too far off of it at least. Okay, so maybe a bit softening. It's already ticked off the daily pivot though. And overall, I just think if it doesn't push up, it will just consolidate. Obviously, all these numbers and all this data sits there, and we'll see non-farm payrolls coming out later, and they could have quite a significant kick to them. Okay, that's it for me. Have a great day. I'll speak to you in the morning. Bye for now.